And to talk about his new role, we have PNVF President Tony Boy Liao. Welcome to Morning Matters. In my whole lifetime, I never imagined that this would happen, but it has. And you are officially president with a unanimous 13-0 vote. Did you expect this?
Good morning, Gretchen. Good morning to all your viewers. Actually, this was not really expected to have a 13-0 mandate from the stakeholders. Actually, our goal here was just to be re-elected and then move forward to the past programs of the PNBF. But with this 13-0 mandate, I think it is quite overwhelming for us, especially those newly elected in the PNBF board, that now it is a big task for us, for our new group, to handle for the next 4 years the volleyball programs of the PNBF.
13-0 is a statement in itself, no? Pero kayo lang ho ba yung kandidato na kumalaban kay former President Tatsu Zara? And what happened in the elections? Because it's being described as a 4-hour, 5-hour election process. Ano po ang nangyari?
Actually, the procedure that happened in the last elections, no, it's not like you have to nominate persons to be elected and then the General Assembly would vote. But this time around, what they made was all the stakeholders who were present can be elected upon. So we need to say 47 stakeholders could be elected, no need for nomination. Automatic, the 47 stakeholders were nominated. So the stakeholders voted 13 board members in their ballots. So after the election, they cast the ballots and then they called on each ballot name who were elected, and then they came out with the top 13 voted board members. So that made up the 13 executive board members.
And from the board, doon na lang po pipili ng president?
Yes, and then from the board, we among ourselves, right after the election, we elected the chairman, the president, the vice president down the line. So that made up the executive board.
Okay. So, pero yung 13-0, ibig sabihin, nagkakasundo po lahat na kayo po ang magiging presidente, no? So, meron po bang mga usapin prior to the General Assembly na, Sir Tony, kayo po yung gusto namin? And why do you think you were the chosen one?
Actually, okay, if you would recall, we had this World Championship in last September.
Yes.
And then, actually, the term of the past executive board was to expire, last January 2025. There was supposed to be a General Assembly to be called on January 2025. But when we had that executive board meeting last January 2025, so someone from the board decided, requested kung pwede, we'll just have the General Assembly after the September World Championship. Which it was approved by the executive board that we will have it October 2025. So during the World Championship, when we called for a executive board meeting that was last September, we decided to have it November 30, 2025. So it was already approved that the General Assembly for the new year, for the new term, would be on November 2025. But dito sa atin wala talagang magiging permanent dates. So their group, okay, we need to say the present group of Ramon Susara decided to have the General Assembly on November 21, 2025. So that's when we had it.
Okay. Sino po ang nag-udyok sa inyo na, na you could be PNBF president? Sabi nyo nga po, this is, everybody's automatically nominated, no? Pero 13-0, in your favor, who was talking to you beforehand na you could be elected?
Actually, when we had that September 2024 drawing of lots in Solar Club, in Solar Resort in Parañaque, right after the drawing of lots, we had an executive board meeting. And then Mr. Susara said that I should step down already when we have the General Assembly because of he being to be elected the ABC president and then at the same time executive vice president for FIBB. So he told the group, okay, I have to step down because I will be very busy. So from among yourself, maybe you can choose already who could be the person who would replace him. So wala pang naging meeting, wala pang naging usapan kung sinong pwedeng pumalit. So Mr. Palu asked me, Ricky Palu asked me, why don't you be the president? Sabi ko, pwede, basta gusto ng grupo. Siyempre, pwede ko sabihin gusto ko maging presidente kung hindi naman ako iboboto. Wala rin, di ba? So, during the FIBB World Congress in Portugal, which I was invited, Ricky Palu was there, Ramon Susara was there, and then the Secretary General Don Caringan was there. So Ricky told me, why don't you tell Tats that you want to be president? So I said, okay, if there's a time, I'll tell him. So there was a time, so I told him, you are stepping down. He said, yes, I'm stepping down. So who do you want to take your place? So he said, it will depend on the board, on who will take his place. So I told him, okay, I want to be president. I want to run for president. So he said, okay, we'll just talk about it in Manila. So that was September. When we returned to Manila, October, November, dumaan, December, we never talked about it. So nung December, Christmas party ng PNBF sa aming office sa Bonnie Prime, I was there, they invited me. They invited all the other board members, but they were not able to come because that was already December, busy na, and some of them will be coming from the provinces. So I was there. Mr. Pulu was not able to come because he also came from another Christmas party. So I asked them, what will happen in our coming election this January 2025? So are we pushing to with the General Assembly because I want to run for president? So sabi nga, let's just talk about it sa January executive board meeting.
Nag-end po yung term ni Tatsuzara in short.
Actually,
because he was
all
to focus
our
on
terms ended December 31, 2024.
But because he is in the global stage already, hindi niya na po kayang i-handle ito. Wala naman ho, because hindi naman po lingid sa kaalaman ng publiko na nagkaroon po ng konting I guess conflict over the licenses of the imports recently with the new PVL, and you also serve as chairman. Wala naman ho parang animosity between you and the former president?
Na actually yung ITC itself, that was actually yung pinaka sabihin natin naging problema. Kaya siguro madami ng mga nagtatanong sa akin, anong sir ang nangyari, bakit, anong problema with the ITC?
Yung
may mga nagtanong nga sa akin, ano ba ang problema, is it the PVL, the PNBF, or Tatsuzara? Imagine he was being singled out as one of the problems. So sabi ko, actually with PVL and the other club teams, kasi the ITC, this is how it works, no? Let's say there's an import who's coming in. Yung import has to certify, kasi there's a form from the FIBB, has to certify her interest to play. So she will sign, her club team will sign, a volleyball federation should sign. Pagdala ng form sa amin, yung ITC form, the club team that would accept her would sign, and then yung PNBF would also sign. So lahat yan nakapirma dapat, and then before we could send it to FIBB.
So hindi po pumirma?
Parang tinitignan mo, it was only 80% signed. So for it to be 100% signed, PNBF being the federation where the foreign player and the PBL is affiliated should sign it para ma-approve ng FIBB. But the problem, nagkaroon ng hold. Hindi nga pinipirmahan.
Sir Tony, okay.
Nagka-problema.
I'm aware of those issues, pero one thing I'm interested in is what you mentioned in another interview about you looking into the finances of the PNBF. There seemed to be, at first glance, overstaffing and overspending. Could you describe more of that, and what changes, immediate changes, can we expect under your leadership?
Okay, I've been part of the last board. So, nakikita namin talaga ang daming tao. Every time there's an event, overstaff. Just imagine if we will have a BDT tour, that's a beach volleyball pro tour organized by the FIBB. So we used to host legs of that one. Yung kanilang staff, siguro mga 50 to 100 people. So, sabi namin, 50 to 100 people, you will be giving them meals, you will be paying them allowances per dime. So, talagang it's overstaffed to the point na every time we organize a BPT, we lose money. I don't think if ever, kasi since the beginning we were at the PNBF, I think we already organized around 3 or 4 BPTs. We never made any money. Talagang loss.
So what are you planning to do to have more transparency and accountability?
Okay, when you organize a BPT, so you pay for prize money. This is double gender. So you have to come out with prize money for men and women. Ngayon, there are different kinds of BPT. There's what you call the future, which the prize money is only 5,000 US per gender. Ngayon, if you say challenger, ang prize money nagiging $10,000 na dollars each per gender. So that's $20,000. So, saan mo kukunin the $20,000? So, siyempre, you have to ask for sponsors. Usually, it's Rubisco. Because Rubisco is very active with beach volleyball. So, and then you have to pay for the hotels of the officials, yung FIBB officials, yung FIBB referees. So, yung technical officials. So, siyempre, because this is being held in Santa Rosa, you don't expect them to go back and forth Manila and Santa Rosa. So, nakatira sila sa Laguna, Santa Rosa. So, ibibilit mo din ng hotel. So you feed them, you give them per dime, you give them allowances. So all of this, if you will add it up, talagang kapos. Kasi if you don't get a sponsor, abunado ka na naman.
Oo, pero ano hong pagbabago ang gagawin natin? We do know ito po yung mga problema. What are you planning to institutionalize? And also, what can we expect from you? What will your focus be on in the next 2 years?
Okay, first of all, we had a courtesy call yung board, no? Unfortunately, hindi kami kompleto kasi some of the people from the provinces cannot make it because of their previous engagement. We had a courtesy call kay PSC Chairman Pato Vigorio. So, tinanong din niya sa amin, tinanong sa akin, ano ba ang plano niyo? So, sabi ko, Chairman, the first focus is to have a unity. We will try to unify all the stakeholders. 47 stakeholders. Siyempre, yung 47 stakeholders during the draft General Assembly didn't vote for us. Hindi majority. So what
Yes.
we want to happen now is to unify everybody for one valuable community, one valuable family, no? Tapos na yung election eh. Nagsalita na yung balota kung sino dapat ang nakaupo. So dapat magsama-sama na kami para for one volleyball. Yung FIVB, when they were here last September, signed a contract with PSC chairman, yung FIVB 7-year program. Tinanong nga sa akin yung chairman, will you follow that 7-year program? Sabi ko, definitely, chairman. Because that's a very good program. That 7-year program, it would involve grassroots, the Alas Pilipinas teams, meaning to say men, women, beach volleyball, the underage teams, and the future FIBB events to be held in the Philippines from 2026 to 2028. So, yan ang programa. Kasi kaya, so I asked the chairman, chairman, how come it's a 7-year program? Because ang aming term is only up to 2028. That's only actually supposed to be 4 years, 3 years na lang. Sabi nga, the reason why it's a 7-year program, because FIBB is looking forward to 2027 Brisbane Olympics. Gusto kasi niyang FIBB na magkaroon ng isang Philippine team in the Olympics.
Okay.
So tutulungan niya ang Federation of Pilipinas, actually the Philippines as per country, to qualify in the Brisbane Olympics, which is very good. So sabi ko nga, bakit naman kami na new board, bakit namin hindi susundan yan, di ba? Kasi it is a very good for volleyball. Na the Philippines, maybe for the first time, I don't remember if the Philippines, any team, men or women, has ever played in the Olympics. So this is really very good for Philippine volleyball and for the Philippines.
Well, there's huge potential here for Philippine volleyball indeed, and with a lot of events lined up, including the 2029 FIVB Women's hosting na in-announce din po doon sa Men's Championship. But this is a tall order and a heavy burden for you, but good luck. We wish you the best of luck. I wish I had more time to talk to you about this, pero konti na lang yung oras. Pero I guess there's a lot of work to be done, and we wish you the best of luck. Ako marami naman pong pera si Sir Tony, manager namin to sa Ateneo, kaya siya naman nasasalo. God bless po. Maraming salamat to the new PNBF president.
Thank you for giving us time to grace your show. And
yes,
more
Sir
power
Tony
to you.
Boy Liao. Yes, more power to you also.